In this video, we'll talk about a lot of things, including Bitcoin and its future. The next price range for Bitcoin is likely to be between $120,000 and $170,000. We might be hearing Brad Gallinghouse. We're going to look at BlackRock's biggest Bitcoin ETF purchases right now. Have you seen BlackRock's most recent big investment in these markets? It looks like the organizations are starting to pay attention. Without further ado, let's look at Bitcoin $72,000 while you relax. The price of $257 has gone up by 5% in the last day. Even though it's down 1.35% right now, I should be able to get $2,636.31. Right now, the price of XRP is only $0.51, while the prices of USDT and USDC are both $99. I'm keeping a close eye on the $183 slot because it should rise up to $200, which is just still about $25. So it's also possible that the price will drop back to $150 if we can't break through the $183 mark. Solana, remember that I'm getting $1,000 if it doesn't keep all the power. Go back to $130. What just now did we learn about Solana? Then where's the little tweet I turned into pulled up in the Canary Capital? Yes, an XRP ETF was changed and can now be found in the Equal Canadian Capital. They saw a Solana ETF not long ago. I told you what I think will happen in 2025. They really are smooth. A thought will drop out of the top 5, and Bitcoin, Solana, and XRP will fight it out for second and third place. An XRP and Solana ETF will be added in 2025. Those are the last 2 items on the bucket list that need to be finished. With them, there are now 4 ETFs available. Bitcoin started to move above $71,000 for the first time. The Kraken trade shows that the BTC to USD pair has an hourly chart with a key bullish fashion line emerging. The support level is at $69,500, which is the 100-hour simple moving average. The price is going up and down between $71 and $500 right now. The pair is building on its gains and can break through the $73,500 psychological level, even though they cost $73,500. I keep telling you $74,000. That's the right number you should be looking for, people. You know it's time to move when you see these signs. Brad Gallinghouse also talks about a black swan event right now. A black swan event could make the US the center of the blockchain age around the world. We know exactly how this works, so it's not hard at all. The United States will be the leader and most important player in the coin market if Trump wins the election in the next few days. Pay attention to Brad. The last slide has an interesting expression that we can show. Well, if you look at this chart's left side, you can see how many internet companies are based in the US and how much they are worth. It's not a surprise that the right side is really in the coin area. As we've talked about, the 1996 Telecommunications Act made it possible for regulators to be clear in the early days of the internet. This has helped investors and business owners do well in the cryptocurrency area. These things haven't happened in the US yet, but they might soon. There is no count number for who wins. It will change the way it looks. I'm hopeful and agree that it might work. Ripple will win because Brad likes one part and Chris likes the other. At the end of the day, it will look like Ripple won because they played a very smart game and BlackRock is worth more than $875 million, which is about a Bitcoin in the last 24 hours. Michael Stadler owns the Digital Method company and is about to raise $42 billion to buy more Bitcoin. What does it mean? It's easy to say. Bitcoin's price will go through the roof. According to what I said in the first video today, the season couldn't start until Bitcoin had its fun. Bitcoin is just warming up and on its way to the birthday party, even though it hasn't arrived yet. Just pay. All you have to do is learn about Bitcoin. Don't care about anything else. Bitcoin should be paid interest. Nothing will move until Bitcoin does its thing. We understand the spot because of those smooth people. The Bloomberg expert says that Bitcoin ETFs have seen big inflows over the last 13 days. It's a way to save money and is like fake gold. When you look at the flows you've seen, do you notice anything strange about how the prices have changed along with them? Since they began, it's a pretty big amount. Yes, these things have brought in a lot of money. Beginning in early January, they raised a lot of money in March and April. They raised a lot of money before they started. However, the last 13 days were way too long. We're now at around $4.70 to $4.8 billion, which has been available in just the last 13 trade days. I believe some of this is following the flow. Of course, as costs rise, some of this has to do with Trump's chances of winning. After all, money has been coming in for 12 of the last 13 days, and the total amount is just under $5 billion. I agree with the idea that some people think a Trump win will be good for Bitcoin. I'm no longer sure what's making it happen. That being said, there may be more than one call for those ETFs. What does this have to do with other things in the Bitcoin space? Because Ethereum and Bitcoin have been very different from each other. Is it because the Trump market is made up of Bitcoin only? You make a good point, but interest in Ethereum ETFs as a whole isn't really that high anymore. Since those things were released in January, you already said they were worth about $23 billion. Ethereum ETFs were added in July, but they haven't been bought or sold since, as shown by the $500 million that has been lost. There are so many that I could write a whole paragraph about why I agree with them. There is some truth to the idea that Bitcoin is hard to understand, but part of that is because the theory is a bit more involved. It's just virtual safe cost and virtual cash, a bet on the value of the dollar going down, all of these different things. Then you look at Ethereum and ask yourself if it's a tokenization platform or a digital app platform. There are a lot of different ways to describe it. I think traders just aren't ready to understand what's going on, and Bitcoin is one of the ways that the most people are participating. Already worth 72 billion rubles. There is definitely more room to run. I mean, if you talk to most people in our world, if you talk to most people in the TradFi Global channel,